Hello everyone, I am the storyteller and I am here to help you today. I know you use this video to sleep, so before that, like the video and subscribe to the channel now, get comfortable and relax. At first I thought the scratching sound was coming from right above the bed. It was just the house settling down or maybe a squirrel on the roof, but as I lay there in the dark, my eyes wide open, I realized that it was too rhythmic, too intentional, not anything but human. I have been hearing strange noises in my attic for weeks now, small noises and creaks. I have ignored the usual sounds an old house makes, but tonight was different. Tonight the sounds were unmistakable. My heart was beating fast as I slowly sat up in bed, careful not to make a sound. The scratching continued steadily and persistently. I reached for the phone on the nightstand, my fingers shaking as I dialed 911, but as soon as I pressed the call button the scratching stopped abruptly. I held my breath. The phone pressed to my ear, waiting for the operator to pick up. The silence in the house was deafening as I heard a voice on the other end of the line. A loud noise came from the attic, followed by heavy, quick footsteps. 911, what is your emergency? I whispered urgently into the phone. There is someone in my attic, please hurry. I gave them my address and hung up. My whole body was shaking. The footsteps above had stopped, but I could hear faint rustling. Whoever was up there was still moving around. I slid out of bed. My bare feet were silent on the cold hardwood floor. I needed to get out of the house, but the stairs to the first floor were right below the attic entrance. If I tried to leave I would be right in the intruder's path. I crept to my closet and grabbed the baseball bat I kept there for protection. My palms were sweaty as I gripped it. My eyes stared at the ceiling. The minutes ticked by painfully slow. Where were the police? I strained my ears hoping to hear sirens, but all I could hear was my own siren, ragged breathing and the occasional creak from above. Then a new sound made my blood run cold. It came from the hallway outside my bedroom. The light scratching of the attic access board moving. My throat tightened as I realized the intruder was coming down. I pressed my body against the wall next to the bedroom door, that raised and ready, my heart pounding. I was sure it would betray me. The hallway floor creaked under the weight of slow, careful footsteps. They stopped just outside my door. I held my breath. Every muscle in my body tensed. The door knob turned slowly and the door began to open. In the dim light from the window I saw a shadow fall to the floor as the figure entered the room. I swung the bat with all my might. A sickening noise and a cry of pain. The intruder staggered back and I had a chance to run. I dashed past them, down the stairs and out the front door, into the cool night air. I ran to the neighbor's house, banging on the door until the porch light came on. As they opened the door I finally heard the police sirens. In the next hour was a blur of police statements and questions. They searched my house thoroughly but found no sign of the intruder. They assured me they would increase patrols in the area and suggested I stay with a friend for a few days, but I couldn't shake the feeling that they had missed something. The way the intruder moved, the way they seemed to know the layout of my house, it felt too familiar against my better judgment. I decided to stay. I couldn't explain it, but I needed to know what was going on in my own house. The next day I called a locksmith and changed every lock in the house. I installed a security system with cameras monitoring every entrance, but even with these precautions I still couldn't relax. Every little sound startled me and I found myself constantly checking the loft entrance panel. A week went by without incident, but my restlessness grew. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched even when I was alone. In the house I started noticing little things out of place. A book moved on the shelf, a cup in a sink that I don't remember using. I know I was probably being paranoid, but I couldn't help it. I started spending hours checking every inch of my house for any sign that the intruder had broken in. During one of these searches I found that I was in the spare bedroom, running my hand along the baseboard when I felt a little bit of surrender.